Welcome back again, guys, from Tampa Bay. Today I'm reviewing the 2016, I'm sorry, this is a 2015, no changes for 16 though, Yamaha R3, 320 cc's, entry-level sport bike. Very basic, chain drive, lightweight. I am not a sport bike guy because I'm big. I'm 250 pounds, 6'2", 32-inch inseam. Wow. Okay, first impressions. Short. The seat height though is pretty tall. I only have about an inch underneath me to flat foot the bike. Now when I sit on it, the whole thing squishes down about 3 inches. Very squishy suspension. I'm bouncing the whole bike right now. I'm not standing up. That's funny. Let me adjust my mirrors real quick. Not your typical sport bike peg position. It says I'm in neutral, but I can't shift down into first. There we go. I had to let it clutch out first. It's not a total rear suspension. It is in between neutral and rear controls. I feel like I'm on a pit bike. I really do. The way these controls are set up, it's not, again, like your typical sport bike. They're not true clip-ons, but they're definitely not upright. I just feel hunkered over. I feel like a circus bear on a bike. That's exactly the feeling I have on this. So if you're a big guy, not gonna be for you. Trust me. I have a very tall torso. That's what's doing it for me. My legs are actually pretty well situated. The pegs themselves are a little high, so I am kind of scrunched, but it's not bad. The torso positioning though, for me, it's just over the top. I feel like I am just, well, I am completely leaning over the tank, not on the tank, just hunching over the tank. Transmission's okay. It's got a weird feeling. I'm trying to put my finger on it. It feels thin. It feels very small, like it's almost a toy transmission. The control itself feels small. The way it shifts, the clunk it's got, it's not snappy. It's not as precise as other bikes. It feels like there's a lot of wiggle room in that lever. And it's kind of hard to feel when it's shifting. Clutch lever too. Very thin. I mean, just physically thin, height-wise. Doesn't just give that tactile feel of quality. There's a lot of play in it too, up and down. Now, it may have something to do with it being a demo bike. Don't know. But the brake lever feels the same way. Dashboard. Not that bad. Got a nice sweep tachometer. Big digital gauge, gear indicator, trip odometer. I'm looking for a selection knob or anything. No, doesn't look like there's. I got a clock too, and some dummy lights. I got a fuel gauge and a temperature gauge. Okay, hardly any power. To be expected. That was wide open. It moves. It's smooth. It's got a real nice sound to it. This is wide open. Fourth gear, sorry. It's not going to go anywhere in a big hurry, let me put it that way. Top gear, 50 miles an hour, roll on. This is all it's got. Alright, so do not expect sport bike performance, even though it looks like a sport bike. But it's smooth. This thing is butter smooth, no matter what gear I'm going down into. Now I've got a little bit of vibration in the bars, high frequency vibration, but you're not going to be cruising like this. You're going to be going through the tack. So I'm at 9,000 RPM. Trying to figure out where its power band is. It's not up high, it's not down low. Maybe it's got some good mid-range. Doesn't have a slipper clutch. Fun bike. Very light and nimble, as to be expected. Like I said, it feels like a scooter with a lot of oomph to it for a scooter. Low speed handling is very good. I'm just dragging the rear brake right now. It's got a good feel once you get down into the pedal travel. I can feel the thump of the engine here at idle. You can feel it through the bars and in the seat. Decent clutch engagement. Man, I'm so low to the ground once I'm on the bike. My feet are just kind of dragging. But that's all the suspension travel. Again, it's kind of got a very spongy suspension, but a lot of travel, so don't expect stiff sport bike suspension. And it looks like non-adjustable forks. I would imagine non-adjustable rear also. But I would also suspect you're going to find a pretty good aftermarket that might kind of wake the suspension up. But it's definitely made for street riding more than track riding with this kind of suspension. Very nice low-speed handling though. This would be fun around town, for sure. That's what's holding us up. Holding. I don't have a speech impediment. Oh, block of wood. Well, very flickable. I saw that at the last second. Let's just wind through the gears here and play with it. Very smooth, up to 7,000 RPM. I'm in second, 30 miles an hour. So you can see you have to use the gears on this bike. You know, it does not have a lot of low-end torque. It's meant to burn through those 6 gears. That's the only way you're going to get any kind of performance out of it. I could see this being a very nice entry-level sport bike. I have not ridden, well, I take that back. I've ridden the entry-level bikes way back when I took my MSF course. Now, I can't comment on comparisons to those because I was a brand new rider. I was not paying attention to how the bikes performed or anything like that. All I remember from those days was, wow, these bikes are too small for me. Because, you know, the bars were hitting my knees and I just stalled it out. It's weird, the clutch engagement, you've got no torque. I mean nothing. You have to wind it up and I'm not used to that. This is all it's got. That was wide open throttle. Just for reference. But I'm used to being able to let the clutch out, you know, 1,500, 2,000 RPMs. Nope, do not do that with this bike. Wind this guy up to 3 or 4. You simply need that because it has no torque down low. Just takes a little getting used to. First time ever riding an engine this small, or any kind of bike with this lack of power, like I said, since that course. But this has a lot more room. The ergonomics of this are fine for new riders. I wouldn't even suggest the older, you know, like the Honda Rebels, the old Ninja 250s. Those are the stuff I was riding during that course, and those were horrible. Those were difficult for me to physically fit on. Plus, they had even far less power than this. For a small engine, this actually feels really nice. I do dig how smooth it is. This would be a lot of fun riding around town simply because you can burn through the gears. Sometimes it is fun to ride a slower bike fast than a fast bike slow. You know, that's a saying and it is very true. This is cool because, man, you can pretend. It's funny when I downshift, the rear end breaks loose as I pop the clutch. You can pretend, man, you are really ripping through the gears and you're doing 100 miles an hour, and, you know, never mind the fact you're doing 40. But it sounds like you're doing 100. It's very smooth and light in the steering. This dude behind me again is right on my ass. I want to do a hard braking test. I'll wait till we get up to a light. Top gear here at 45 miles an hour. You feel the thump of the engine, just a little bit. It's a parallel twin. And you feel it, a little bit of vibration through the bars, but it's not high frequency. It's a thump, more akin to a V-twin thump. You just know that the engine's doing some work. It's actually pretty pleasant. Still smooth, nothing through the seat, a little bit through the pegs, but nothing that would bother you. It likes to push through the corners. It does not want to drop in. So it's got good straight line stability, but it really doesn't want to make a turn in. Not like some other bikes. It may have something to do with the rake. This is a lot longer pushed out than your typical sport bike. This is more of a small, naked bike with sport bike fairings, a little tiny windscreen, and shorter handlebars. It's kind of in between. Clutch has zero feedback. You have absolutely no feeling. You can't tell what it's doing at all. Even when just going through the gears, especially downshifting, it's like it's an electric lever. You've got nothing. Neutral's easy enough to find. Lever pull's very light. I mean, this is a bike that's not going to scare anybody off if you're a first-time rider. So I can tell what they were going for here. Yeah. 3,000 is about the magic number for letting that clutch out. Just a mental note. You get used to it. Every bike's a little different. If you're doing a demo ride, no worries about stalling a bike out. Everything has its own characteristics. Mirrors themselves, actually really darn good. I can barely see my elbows in them. They are out far enough in front and wide enough where I've got a good sight picture, and they are vibration free. They did an excellent job positioning these mirrors. No complaints there whatsoever. Dash is so far very easy to read, even in direct sun. I've got no glare. I can see myself. It does have a shiny plastic cover, but I think this windscreen is making all the difference. Now we're going to be turning here, and I'll have the sun to my back, so I'll see if that changes. That's where I've had some other stuff wash out. Let's go down into first. Low speed steering is good. This is wide open, there's 60. So there you go. Fun, I mean really fun. It's got a great sound to it. Just running through these gears, having a blast. There's something to be said for that. This isn't something you would want to be buying for absolute power, but my God, if you have a track near you and you're in the class with these smaller bikes, oh, you could have a blast with this, and they're cheap. That's the huge selling point of this particular bike. It's not only entry level because of its design, it's because of its price. MSRP under $5,000. Come on, that's like almost a free bike. There's a lot of used bikes that are way more than $5,000. Rear end feels a little sketchy sometimes. Like just when I went over that paint, it kind of broke loose a little tiny bit. I wasn't even on the gas. It's just so soft. I get the same feeling on the FJR if I'm in the most soft setting and I'm riding alone. It gets that, little wallowy kind of sketchy feeling, like it's a low tire. That's just from being too soft. So I would definitely, if I was getting one of these, put on an aftermarket suspension. I think that would just make this an absolutely different bike and wake up the handling like nobody's business. But I do dig the engine. Even though it's not a powerful engine, what it's got, it delivers very, very well. I am bouncing this thing up and down about 4 inches. Not even standing up off of it. That's how soft it is. Shifter position is decent. It's very short as far as the distance between the shifter peg and your foot peg. There isn't a lot there. So I've got to reposition my foot quite a bit when I flick my foot around to do an upshift. Whew, it's getting hot. This doesn't have a temp display on it, but I know it's over 90 already. We'll do another higher speed run here as we finish out the ride. Go, go, go. Wide open in second. There you go. Another wicked fast 60-mile-an-hour run. I love the sound out of this thing. I really do. It makes you feel like you're doing twice as fast as you actually are. It's fun. For a guy my size though, definitely pass on it. Go up to an R6. All right, you just need that one more step, that one more size change, that one more power change, and you'll be a lot happier. The seat, now that I've had some time on it, is actually really comfortable. It is a typical sport bike seat, so it has a hard padded shelf behind my butt, but what I'm sitting on is excellent, absolutely perfect. The angle's great. It is a fairly stiff seat, made for sport riding, but I don't have any kind of pressure points. The width is excellent. My legs, my knees are tucked in absolutely perfectly into the tank. It's got a great grip. I have no pressure on my hands. Excellent position there. And that's what's important on any kind of sporty bike. You need that positioning of your legs and your butt to control your core muscles and control the bike. A lot of new riders think that you ride by putting your weight on your hands. And if you go online, you'll find a lot of new bike riders in forums and everything complaining, oh, my wrists are hurting, my arms are hurting. That's because they're not riding right. They're hunching over, they're putting all their weight on their arms, their shoulders are pushed back, and that's how they're riding. That's not how you ride a motorcycle, okay? These tanks are designed like this to grip with your legs. That's how you hold on to the motorcycle. You should be able to, if you're going in a straight line, take your hands off the handlebars at any given moment. There should be no pressure on the handlebars of a motorcycle. You should be able to do this at any moment, all right? When you're riding a motorcycle, you're supporting yourself with your core. That's why the real sport bikes, that's why this one doesn't work for me. Let me demonstrate. A properly sized sport bike for you, you are able to lay on the tank. The tank is there to support your torso. So you would be leaned over like this and actually resting on the tank. Your legs would be gripping the tank, and you would have on some bikes even pockets for your arms. So you're in a tuck and you're just laying there. You're not supporting yourself by your hands. But this one is too small for me, so by the time my hands are on the bars, if I were to lay on the tank, my elbows are sticking way out. So you have to get a bike that is physically laid out for you. That's why I'm saying if you're a bigger guy like me, a taller guy, you need something more like the R6, where the pegs are a little bit, not the pegs, the clip-ons are lower, so they're a good 2 or 3 inches lower and a little bit more forward. The frame's bigger. That gives you that stretch you need to be in the proper position while you're laying on the tank. And that's also why they sell tank protectors and stuff like that, so your jacket zipper and stuff doesn't scratch up your paint. But if I was a shorter rider, this would be excellent. This would be exactly what you need. Now the shorter riders have the opposite problem. If they get an R6 or an R1, well, guess what? It's too big. Oh, come on. What is this lady doing? Green means go. Uh-oh. Me. I could definitely have a lot of fun on this, that is for sure. I mean, you get the price, the size and the weight of a scooter, but with a much more fun engine. And I'll tell you, once you're actually shifting through the transmission, it's fun to use. Once my foot is in the proper position, I don't care that it feels kind of cheap, because it works. It's the right size for the engine. Just don't expect bigger bike kind of quality. I dig it. It's going to top gear here, 55 miles an hour, do a roll-on. That's all it's got. So 0 high gear passing power. Let's do it again. That's all it's got. So you can watch the speedo. I'm looking up front. Not a whole lot there. Let's go down into 4th and do it. So if I were downshift, much better. I'm not going to say it's a rocket. I'm not going to say it's a freeway rocket or anything decent for 80 plus miles an hour. But anything around town, carving canyons, track days, this would be a blast. So there you go, guys. This has been the 2015, same as 16, Yamaha R3 entry-level sport bike. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.